Hello, people of YouTube. I'm gonna talk to you for 15 minutes. And if you don't think drugs should be legal in 15 minutes or sooner, I'm gonna kick your ass straight up to Chinatown. Yeah. So, you see this? You see this weed joint? It's mine. I eat it. You shouldn't be able to tell me what goes in my body. I don't care what effect. I don't care what a feeling I get or how I react. You shouldn't be able to tell me what goes in my body. It says what goes in a mouth don't defile a man, but what goes out of a mouth defiles a man. That's a Bible verse. So that just Bible wise, drugs should be legal. And if you're a knowledgeable drug user, if you're not a knowledgeable drug user and you're scared of drugs, you're stupid. All it is a consumable that gives you a feeling. Okay? It's not scary. It's not evil. Most of you don't do drugs and you guys are hateful. Does that make sense? You hate the fact that people do drugs. You think the thug culture, which is a black culture, the pot culture, it's not a drug culture. It's a thug culture. Black people, thug came from black people, and the thug culture is criminals. If there was drugs were legal, there'd still be a thug culture. Okay, just because drugs are illegal, the thug culture and the criminal culture gathers around that illegal substance and cause it to be what it is today. If drugs were legal, there would be a lot less crime. Criminals would be real criminals, not fake criminals. And you know how many people suffer in jail and suffer over paranoia and police and all that stuff, and suffer because they can't get it? Like, they have to buy off the streets and they're getting ripped off on the streets and they have nowhere to buy it and they're suffering just because we make it illegal. Like, for one, what's the worst going to happen if I consume something and do something? I might accidentally kill someone. Or I might accidentally kill myself. So what? That happens already. We already get to points where we accidentally kill ourselves or kill others. Drugs just help it. It don't cause it. Okay? Some people are loopy and they haven't done a lot of drugs. And they do have crazy thoughts. And they do crazy things. That's just because they haven't done drugs a lot. Once you get a tolerance on it, once you do a lot of drugs and you're not one of them new people that are scared of drugs and they think drugs should be illegal, even the smallest drugs should be illegal. They try to illegalize Delta 8. That's a nothing drug. It don't do nothing to you. It's just like pot. And they tried to illegalize it just because they thought it was fucking with people's brains. It wasn't. People were getting fucked up by the emotion. It wasn't. Their brains healed as soon as they got sober. When they get sober, they're back to their normal self. Drugs barely does anything to your sober self. It does make you not feel the same. Like when you do a drug, it makes you feel so good, and when you're off of it, you don't feel that good anymore. So you're always wanting it. And if drugs were legal, it would be easier to get, and prices would be good. So there'll be less stealing over drugs. You know what I mean? Making it illegal makes it easier for it to be stolen for. And it's just wrong that, we should have good prices on the market. We should buy from a store that makes it good prices. People are paying too much for drugs, and they're willing to steal for it. They're willing to do criminal things to make massive money when it should be in the hands of the stores selling it. And I mean all drugs. I mean all drugs should be legal. There's not one drug, and I did a lot of drugs in my life, that I think should be illegal. Meth is child's play. Methamphetamines, go-go, all it does is keep you up all night and make you feel good. Some people trip on it and they get uppity and they have to pace and they talk all night and they talk all the time. And some people do trip on it, but that's because they're new to the drug. You know what I mean? And they do Jones for it a lot, but that's normal with drugs. It's like getting hungry. You're hungry for the drug. That's normal. Nothing's wrong with jonesing, and as long as you don't steal for it. But if it was legal, you would be a lot less people stealing for it. Just saying. They'll buy it from a store where it has good prices, and they could probably get some for free from their friends because they get good prices. Everybody getting good prices on drugs would definitely make drugs not really a stealable thing. You know what I mean? And, the fact that we're demonizing a substance, a worldly thing, God invented everything. So, didn't he invent meth? Didn't he invent heroin? Ain't that something we should be able to do if God invented it? You know what I mean? And it's definitely made by a creator because there's so many different types of drugs. So God put it in this world for it to be used. I know Christians make it seem like drugs are illegal to God, but it says whatever goes into a mouth don't defile a man, but what comes out of a mouth defiles a man. So to God, drugs are legal. Just letting you know. He purposely said that for alcohol and shit like that. Also, if it was legal, the country would make so much money and it would get out of the underground trade and there wouldn't be a criminal underground everywhere because of drugs being illegal. There's a criminal underground everywhere because drugs being illegal. Now, there might be criminal undergrounds throughout cities once you legalize it, doing real crime. But in country areas, there wouldn't be criminals. Why would there be no major heist? You know what I mean? And people, no offense, the thug culture that came from black people, that kind of persuades people to be bad. That's just like being niggerish. You know what I mean? That's like being mean. Like that just adds to the amount of evil they do. It really don't cause them to be evil. The drugs ain't causing them to be evil. That's just being niggerish. You know what I mean? They do that just being black people sometimes. Just being mean to people and do criminal things like beat people up, gang people. You know what I mean? So the drugs ain't really doing that either. It's not making people into criminals or making people evil. The fact that we got an evil stigma on drugs is the reason it turns people evil. They think they're doing a bad thing, so they say, yeah, I'm bad. I want to be bad. Now, if they just said, oh, it's a drug, we consume it and feel good. If we had that stigma on it from the beginning, there would be no criminals out there. There wouldn't be evil smokers and shit like that. The fact that we legalize it and put that evil stigma on it is just stupid. It should be pot culture teaches us that drugs are shareable and it is a cultural thing to smoke with each other. You know what I mean? It's a cultural thing. It's our American culture to smoke with each other. So it's the best lifestyle in the world to hang out and smoke up, get high. And you guys are trying to destroy that because you don't do drugs and you don't want people doing drugs. You think they're going to destroy your streets? Bitch, your streets are going to get destroyed regardless. Okay? Because what you're doing by making it illegal is that innocent people are being drugged into that criminal underground and they're doing crazy things, destroying our streets too. By making it illegal, you're bringing innocent people and making them into thugs, and they're doing evil things in the underground. The fact is, limiting access to a certain thing opens up the market to illegal substances. It should be all legal and be actionable, very easily actionable, except for, even children. Children doing drugs. What's the worst that's going to happen? Ain't we just a self? Ain't we our self regardless? I mean, it might fuck up our mind, but can't our mind heal? Can't our soul be restored? We're still us. Drugs won't change who you are. It won't. People's interaction, like if you do drugs with evil people, and they might change who you are. They might influence you to do bad people because it's in the underground, and you're doing drugs with the underground. You might start to do evil things because of that. But it doesn't make you do evil things. And the fact that we're legalizing something that you eat, that is what goes out of the mouth defiles a man, not what goes in the mouth. So why are we legalizing things that we eat? Why do we got bleach and poison legal, but we can't buy meth and heroin? I don't understand that. I mean, every single drug is good, or it wouldn't be used. Nobody goes around drinking poison. It's a good. Drugs are a good. Now, the party lifestyle can get a little crazy, but they're going to party without them drugs regardless. If they had no drugs, they'll still group together and do crazy shit. That doesn't change the thing. It just gives them opportunity. The party lifestyle gives them opportunity to act crazy. The drugs ain't doing it. It's just what they're doing. And plus, they're probably new to drugs, and they think it's going to... Once they get into a trip, they start acting out instead of just calming down and feeling their high. You know what I mean? They think it's, like, I'm on drugs. I'm going to do these bad things. I'm going to flip out. I'm going to do this crazy thing just because I'm on drugs. Just because because of the stigma on it. The stigma on it. I mean, if you were doing drugs from the age of 14 like I did, well, 11. I did it by the age of 11. You'll know by the age of 30, you'll know that every drug is ridiculous, that it's illegal, that it's child's play. Drugs are just child's play. And we punish people in jails for years in jail, wasting our resources on sending people to jail and wasting their time, their success, and putting a criminal record on them that will make them stay a criminal, honestly. You know what I mean? So, if they didn't have that, if it wasn't criminalized, the world would be a lot different. So I want you guys to push with me. In this last 3 minutes or 2 minutes, I want you guys to push with me and spread this video to everyone you know. This has every single reason why drugs should be legal. And it should be, shouldn't it? We should be able to explore the drug world and explore every drug and have our fun. There's no drugs out there that permanently hurt you. There's no drugs out there. The closest one is acid and shrooms. And really, people see that as an enlightenment experience, not really a detrimental, evil thing. Meth can kill your soul, but you can always get it restored after you quit it for a while. But it's not something you can live without it. The drugs are worth it. You'd rather stay on the drugs and lose your soul, or become crazy and stay on acid. You'd rather just stay with it. The good of the drug outweighs the bad of the unhealthiness and evilness. And people, we only got one life. Why can't we live it the way we want to? Why is consuming something illegal when we only got one life? You know what I mean? Stop prohibiting, telling other people what to do. Stop telling other people what to do. Okay? They are free to consume whatever they want to consume. It's silly that you guys are making people not do things because you guys are biased. You don't know anything about drugs. You just want to keep it illegal because it's evil. Or you're some Christian that had a bad experience and quit it, and you still have resentments towards the drug, but you knew it was the best time you had. You gave up drugs that quickly for your damn Christianity. I love Christianity, but I'm not going to give up something that good. You know what I mean? Something that made me so happy and gave me a thrill. I'm not going to give that up. Well, guys, you have a great day. I love you guys. I hope you spread this video so everybody can make drugs legal. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.